Well, good afternoon and welcome to our graduation at U of A South. My name is Dr. Melody Buckner. I'm your interim dean at the U of A South, and I am so excited that you're here. It just really touches my heart to see all of you, all of the families, all of the students. Once you graduate from U of A South, you have been our family. You will continue to be our family from now on and forever. So thank you so much for being here today. Before we get started, I just want to take a little bit of time to talk to you about being in the moment. Today's a great day. Today, you will always look back and remember. And I know you all have your phones here, and I know you're taking a lot of pictures. But I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to really be in this moment. Take a picture in your mind, because from this day forward, you will always remember what it's like to be a graduate of the University of Arizona. Okay? So, just to, as we go into our ceremony, I just want to recognize a couple of people that are here with us today. I want to recognize our military, our veterans, our dependent community by having them stand. And could we please give them some applause? Thank you. You'll see that they're wearing white stoles today, and that signifies the veteran status. They are provided by U of A South as part of our appreciation for their service and dedication. I also want to mention the red and white blue cords that signify the military dependent status. They are also provided by the U of A South as part of our appreciation for their service and dedication. So we would also like to thank the University of Arizona Disability Resource Center for assisting us with ASL interpretation services today. So thank you to Karina Moore and Kathy Murtaugh. So thank you so much for being with us today and providing those services. We really appreciate it. So before we get started, I would like to introduce some of our dignitaries and speakers for this afternoon's ceremony. So when I mention your name, if you could please stand, whether you're on stage or in the audience. And if you could please hold your applause till the end, then we can get through it, right? Clinton Lee, he's the president of our Associated Students of the University of Arizona South and our student government. Michael Boardman, he's the president of the University South Foundation. Alicia Ash, she's representing Congressman Martha McSally, also city council person and mayor pro tem of Sierra Vista. Rick Mueller, he's our mayor of Sierra Vista and a good friend to U of A South. Stella Perez, she's the executive director of the Santa Cruz County Provisional Community College District. Brian Balstero, I can never say your name. Brian, can you say your name for me? Brian. Okay. You are representing the council, the Mexican Council in Douglas. Thank you so much for being here. Cody Nichols. He's the Assistant Dean of Military and Veteran Engagement at the University of Arizona. Dr. Chris Johnson. He's the president of U of A South Faculty Forum and the program director for Educational Technology. Dr. J.D. Rottweiler, he's the president of Cochise College. Dr. Renee Corrales, he's our alumni speaker and a 2016 graduate of U of A South Master's Program. Then we have Loretta Smith. She is our guest speaker, and I am so excited to hear her speak to us today. Her story is amazing, and thank you so much for being here today. Dr. Jeff Goldberg, he's our acting senior vice president for academic affairs and our provost. Regent Ron Schupman, he is representing the Arizona Board of Regents. Dr. Melissa Vito, she's the senior vice president for student affairs, enrollment management, and strategic initiatives. And Barbara Citera. She is our Associate Professor of History and Associate Dean of Academic Affairs at U of A South. We are all, now we can applaud. You are all honoring us with your presence today. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate your continued support. So, with that, let's get right to the program. You ready? I am honored to present to you today representatives of the faculty and students of the University of Arizona. Our first speaker, Regent Ron Schupman.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. It's a real pleasure for me to be here. U of A South and the work we do here and the opportunities we provide are very important to the governing body of our three universities, which I represent today. So it is certainly my honor to be here to join this celebration. And let's get started with, I know I'm going to be the first of many to say, congratulations, class of 2018. Well done. It's really a remarkable feat that you've accomplished. Your level of commitment, determination, and sheer hard work are really commendable. You've devoted countless hours to studying, research, writing, and exams. Some of you made sacrifices financially and certainly overcome a number of different kinds of obstacles, but you persevered and you've earned your degree. Graduates, I can assure you it is well worth it. Your graduation is not only a personal achievement for you, but it's an achievement for the state of Arizona and for society more broadly. Consider this, only about 30% of Arizonans over the age of 45 have a 4-year degree. Those individuals are about the same as we are nationwide. When you look at Arizona and get down to more of your age group, that 25 to 34, we are currently 7% behind the nation in producing the individuals that will lead our state and provide the workforce of the future. It's a great time to live in Arizona, and for all of us who played any part in your education, we hope you will consider remaining here in Arizona. Regardless of where your dreams might take you, your degree speaks highly about you and your ability to take on a challenge and see it through to completion. So as you embark on the next phase of your journey, I want to offer 3 pieces of advice. First, never stop learning. It's brought you to where you are today. You will continue to be lifelong learners, and it will serve you well. Second, you'll face difficult situations and tough challenges in your life. As you do, I ask you to consider a very simple phrase that has served me well. When all else fails, default to integrity and do the right thing. And finally, my 91-year-old mother, who still reminds me today that the key to life is, no matter what the obstacles you faced, attitude is everything. So stay positive and pursue your dreams. So please take up time today to celebrate this moment. Tomorrow you can prepare to take the next steps to fulfill your destiny and your potential. Distinguished members of the faculty, family and friends and graduates, please enjoy and always remember this day. Bear down.
He's right. Attitude is everything. That's awesome. So our next speaker is Miss Loretta Smith. If you would come on up and tell us your story.
Thank you. Good afternoon and congratulations, class of 2018. It was not too long ago, about 7 years now, that I was out there among you as a parent watching my daughter cross this very same stage, being awarded her Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education. So I can only imagine how proud you all are, husbands, wives, moms, dads, brothers, sisters, and all the family members. I'm very honored to speak to you today and share my story of this wonderful occasion. I've given a lot of thought to the words that I wanted to share with you today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share 3 lessons that I've learned on my journey through my life that hopefully you can take with you as you go on in your next phase of yours. I'm at the height of my career. I'm the Director of Cybersecurity for the Network Enterprise Technology Command. And you may look at me and think, I did all the right things. I graduated high school, I went to college right away, I started my family at the right time, whenever that is. And I may have been an athlete, and I may have been a cheerleader or a popular kid at school, but nothing could be further from the truth. Excuse me. I come from a background, excuse me, a little more emotional than I thought it would be. I come from a background of extreme poverty and a family that is plagued with alcoholism, drug abuse, and domestic violence. Before I entered high school, my family had been evicted from their home several times. I'm a beneficiary, or had been a beneficiary of the free lunch program. And so life was pretty rough. And so despite all of that, though, I had a very strong mother and grandmother, and both of them had started their families very early. My mother was 15 when she had me. And they reinforced in me from the very earliest memory I have that education is the ticket, is the ticket out of the situation that we were in. And so I became a bookworm very early. I read a lot, I studied hard. I was a geek in school, taking all the math and science, which was quite unusual for the community I was in. And I studied hard, and I, in retrospect, it really wasn't about the education. I think it was more of an escape from the situation we lived in. I ended up graduating top 10% of my class for high school, and I received a full scholarship via the U.S. Marine Corps Recruit Officer Training Program. I had applied to the Navy, but after psychiatric evaluation, I was referred to the Marines, so I'm not sure what that says. But I was proud either way to receive it. I come from a long family of veterans, and I'm no different. I chose to not accept that scholarship and instead enlisted in the Army. I was 17 years old, 1 month after graduation, showing up at Fort Dix, New Jersey, and my life changed as soon as I got off that bus. I enlisted for the GI Bill and the Army College Fund, and in that time in the Army, like most of you veterans out there that I see wearing your white sashes, I made friends that I hold dear to this day. I'm still very close friends with my squad leader from Advanced Individual Training 30 some odd years later. But then I also married at 18, and I had 2 daughters by the time I was 22, so life started very early for me. I finished my enlistment, and a few years later, my husband ended up being deployed. And while my daughters were in elementary school, so they were very young, probably 6 or 7 at the time. And I thought, this is a really good time to start college. I had no more excuses. And so I don't know really what I was thinking at the time, two little kids, a husband gone. But I started, and my girls and I would do our homework after dinner around the same kitchen table. They still talk about that to this day. They're grown now. I graduated from the University of Central Florida with a bachelor's in accounting, summa cum laude. I really worked hard. And as the eldest of 5 children coming from that background, I'm now the only one with a high school diploma and now a bachelor's degree. And I just can't believe it. And so my graduation was my first lesson that my background didn't define who I was, and it surely did not constrain the opportunities that were just waiting for me to take. I wanted that degree. I worked for it. I achieved it. And I taught my daughters along the way that education matters. So shortly after graduation, my husband had received orders to Fort Huachuca, and I had no idea where this place was. okay? And then when I found out that it was, 10 or 15 miles from the Mexican border, I was like, wow, this is the desert, and all I could think of was Yuma, okay? So we get here, and we're driving through Huachuca City, and I remember him saying that welcome to Sierra Vista, and this is about 20 years ago, so things were quite a bit different. And my daughters were very upset, and they weren't much happier when they got to Sierra Vista because they're in middle school at this point in time, and there's no mall yet, okay? And what are they going to do? We settle in, and immediately I start sending letters with my resume to every CPA and any business in town that I thought could use my outstanding accounting services. I was a degreed accountant, and I had something to offer. But I got nothing, absolutely nothing. And this went on for about 6 months. And I was very, very discouraged. And so I started asking around as we were meeting people and getting integrated into the Fort Huachuca and the Sierra Vista community, started asking questions about what jobs are on Fort Huachuca and what kind of skills would I need. And I found out that information technology was a big thing there. And I was like, wow, who knew, So I couldn't find work right away, so I thought, I still have some money on my GI Bill, why don't I just go ahead and go to grad school? So within my first term, my very first class, the instructor was a software tester with the Joint Interoperability Test Command. And I introduced myself and I said, hey, I know I'm a student, but I'm also looking for a job. And it was like it was meant to be. He said, we have been looking for people with accounting degrees because we have this huge contract to test defense finance and accounting systems. And so the next thing you know, I'm on the road, I'm going to DFAS centers all over the country testing accounting systems, all the while continuing to work on my master's degree in information systems. And that was my second lesson, one that a lot of military wives already know and family members. It is important to adapt and be willing to change and grow where you end up, because with the military, you really never know. And in my case, I couldn't find work. I found out work was available, and then I determined what skills I needed, and I went to work getting those skills. So it is very important, not just for military wives and military family members, but anybody working in today's job market. There must be, you must have a willingness to adapt and to grow. So I finished my master's degree, and like you, I'm sure, collective sigh of relief. I was so glad I finished my coursework, and it took me a year to write my thesis, and because I really don't care to write. And so I was so relieved when I finally got that thesis process done. I ended up joining Netcom the same month I graduated with my graduate degree. And so Netcom had just been established, it's probably a year old, to operate and manage and defend the Army's networks. That was their primary mission. And as I look back now on how my career's gone, I would never have predicted, never, much less from that 8-year-old who is getting free lunches and who is wondering where the next bed's going to be, to now I'm the director of cybersecurity for the Army's Communication Command. I marvel at it. I lead a team of people who are much smarter than I am, evaluating the security of all Army systems. And when I say all Army systems, I mean all of them, whether they are business systems or they're warfighting systems or weapon systems. And we evaluate the risk posture, and then we recommend whether or not they can operate or stay operating on the network. And that is just incredible to me. So I do want to share some story, a little story with you about your cyber operations program. A couple of years ago, unbeknownst to me at the time, this guy named Jason Deno was trying to get on my calendar. And my assistant was doing a pretty good job, I guess, of putting him off, because I had no idea he was trying to contact me. And about, I don't know, 2 months after I found out later that Mr. Deno was trying to contact me, I'd read an article in the Sierra Vista Herald about this new cyber operations program being established at the University of Arizona, and I thought, oh, this is so exciting because, we've been struggling within the cyber community, and not just here at Fort Huachuca, but across the United States, whether within the Department of Defense or within private industry, to recruit skilled cyber professionals. And here now we have a program right in our own backyard. And so luckily, the Herald had included some contact information for Jason. I was able to contact him. And that's when I found out he'd been trying to contact me. And so, in those couple of years, I'm just really amazed at what this university has accomplished in establishing the Cyber Operations Program. And I understand that there are 4 new graduates here in the audience. Congratulations to you. Awesome. And I want to say, I think I noticed of the 4 graduates, there was 1 young lady. I do want to say that for everyone out there, cyber's not just for the guys, okay? Ladies, we need you too. Unfortunately, participation by women in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, specifically computer science, is dropping. We need you to get in, and once you're in, we need you to stay in. We need everyone, so please. Another point I'd like to make is cyber is constantly evolving. What we knew IT to be, even when I completed my master's in information systems over 15 years ago, it's not the same. My team and I are constantly training to keep up with the latest in technology, what our adversaries and criminals are up to, and the latest security practices. And I am again a student. This time, a doctorate in computer science focused on data science. And why would I do that to myself, you must ask? Because I recognize that data science is the future. Even in cybersecurity, it cuts across all functional areas. As we're entering the 4th industrial revolution, we're not only mining and processing those traditional resources we know, oil and minerals, things of that nature, but it's also data. Everything you do online, in the grocery store if you have one of those loyalty cards, the purchases you make with your credit card, the tweets you send, the Facebook posts, and the videos you make and share, all of that's collected, stored, parsed, and processed for needs we don't even know yet. The jobs we know today likely will not exist in 5 or 10 years from now. Knowledge services such as accounting and tax preparation will likely be replaced with machine learning and human augmented artificial intelligence capabilities, just as we've seen with auto workers and frontline fast food workers replaced by automation. Does all this mean massive unemployment? Most certainly not. As long as we recognize that when these jobs become obsolete, there's new jobs coming in behind it, and we have to train, we have to educate, and be ready for those. Which brings me to my final lesson that I'll share with you today. Learning never ends. Okay, so as you celebrate this achievement, graduating with your respective degrees, and you breathe that collective sigh of relief, remember, you are just beginning your journey. I am so excited for the future and your contributions to it. Again, congratulations, class of 2018. You did it!
That was really inspirational, and it made the dean cry. So yeah, I hope there's tissue somewhere. So thank you so much. That was a fantastic story. We met in my office and talked about what she was supposed to talk about, and I said, anything you want. And she started talking to me about her story, and I said, that's an incredible story, and I think so many people in our audience will relate to it. So let's give her one more round of applause. That was just really awesome. And Jason, when I talk to her about cyber, I don't get afraid. When I talk to you about cyber, I get afraid. So I don't know, we got to work on something there. Okay, our third speaker is Dr. Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson is the Program Director for Educational Technology Master's Program at the University of South. And I know that some of you are out there, so I'm excited to have you in the audience, and Chris is walking up on me. He was also on my dissertation committee, so I'm always a little afraid of him. But today he's going to speak in his role as this year's president of the U of A South Faculty Forum. So please welcome Dr. Johnson.
Thank you, Melody. So hello, everyone. On behalf of the faculty, welcome to your graduation. You have just joined a small but important part of our society. You are a college graduate. And for our graduate students, you've done this twice. So we encourage you to keep on doing it. For some of you, you will be the first of your family to do so. And for others, you have done this after completing years of military service. That's exceptional, and we congratulate you as we congratulate all of our graduates on completing your studies. I think Regent Stutman and I were either on the same wavelength or doing the same Google searches, but I'm going to point out that remember, only 30% of the people who are over the age of 25 hold a bachelor's degree. And for our graduate students, only 11% of the population has a master's degree. This means you have just joined a unique pool of people. You are an informed citizen. And as Thomas Jefferson said, an informed citizenry is at the heart of a dynamic democracy. But remember, you'll need to work hard throughout your life to remain an informed citizen. Now, we as faculty have done everything in our power to give you the tools you need to be an informed citizen. We've taught you to think about and solve messy problems. We've taught you how to critically read, analyze, and communicate information. But as a technologist, please remember everything you read on the internet is not true. Just keep that in mind. And we've taught you to speak out for yourselves, but more importantly, to speak out for others who may not be able to speak out for themselves. But remember, no matter what age you are, you're our students, you're our kids. So please keep in mind that we like hearing from you. Now, I'm not speaking for all of the faculty, but for most of us, my suggestion is not Snapchat or Instagram, but you have our emails. So please let us know what we're doing. We want to hear from you. So in closing, if you encounter struggles in your life, and you will, please remember the words from my favorite philosopher, Jimmy Buffett. Breathe in, breathe out, and move on. Thank you.
So the reason I asked Chris to be on my dissertation committee is because he quotes Jimmy Buffett. Yes. So let's have our UA South student representative of ASUAS President Clinton Lee. He is a representative of the student body, currently pursuing his undergraduate degree in Administration of Justice, and with any luck, a Master's of Fine Art in Creative Writing. I don't think you need any luck for that. I think you're going to do great with that. He is a self-made sailboat captain and dreams of nothing but adventure. His story is pretty interesting, too. Go and have a cup of coffee with him if you ever have a chance. So come on up, Clinton.
Hey guys. So, hello everyone, and my fellow students. Well, I guess you aren't really students anymore. I'll call you guys graduates, so congratulations on that. You guys did a lot to get here, and I was told never to feel too much pride because it could be dangerous. But in this situation, I want each of you to feel an immense sensation of pride for what you have accomplished today. So no one will ever know the trials and tribulations that you went through to get here. No one will ever be able to put into words the hardships that you endured. But this is exactly the strength, not just of mind, but of character that you portrayed to get here. These diplomas being handed out today We started our degrees striving for these little pieces of paper. I imagine many of us will hang them somewhere, and you should probably. But these diplomas are just that, a piece of paper. We started these degrees striving for these papers, but what we might not realize is these little pieces of paper that we were striving for, it was not really, it was proof. It was proof to our employer, proof to our families, and proof to ourselves that we could accomplish anything put before us. So I want you guys to think, and think right now, and as the night goes on, what you want to do with these diplomas. What would mean most to you and be most impactful? Hang on to these diplomas, hang it using a $500 frame, or use it with thumbtacks. Use it, hold the diploma above your head as you cheers to your family and friends of your accomplishments, or hold it above your head as you scream from the mountaintop, your warrior yell. Because that's exactly what you guys have become today, a warrior. I wanted to remind you of this, not because I like giving speeches, even though I do. I want to remind you of this because now that you are warriors, your fight has just begun. The job market now is more cutthroat than it has ever been before. You will know hardship, you will know rejection, but you have all been through this before. Whatever you decide to do with your diploma after all my crazy suggestions, I want you to go up to these diplomas and stare at it for a while. Stare at it while you put on your warrior woad. And because each of you have dreams, and these dreams, some of them might change the world. But changing the world isn't easy. If it was, anybody would do it. So people that change the world, they remind themselves every single day that they are the warriors, and that a warrior never gives up. It has been one of my greatest honors to serve as your student body president. You guys have given me the power and well-being, the power and the fight for each of you and all of our fellow warriors. I hope this gives you some of the power and inspiration that you gave me. And thank you, and bear down.
Thank you, Clinton. That was wonderful. Our second U of A South student representative is Gamma Beta Phi President Jeff Dively. Come on up. That is fine.
Wow, look at all these graduates. Man, it's amazing. And thank you, Dr. Butner. I would like to say welcome graduates, family, friends, staff, and all of these faculties that have brought us to where we are today. It's my distinct pleasure and true honor to have this opportunity to address you today. First of all, I would like to congratulate all of you graduates out there, and I would like to thank all of those that have helped us reach this point. So I know Clinton gave all this stuff about being warriors, but I want to give you something just to think about, and as you move on, I want you to think about these things. So up to this point, many of our lives, and in many of our lives, most of the things have been decided for us. Now it's time for us to step up and make those decisions on our own. As you make those decisions, think about this. Put your trust in yourself and God. Keep asking questions. Remember that modesty will get you everywhere. Network. Don't be afraid to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes that you make. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want. Be prepared and open for every opportunity. Claim your space. And most importantly, remember to listen. I want to leave you with this. Our contributions to this world will not be measured by our money we make or the accolades we receive, but rather by the way in which we share our unique gifts with the world around us. So congratulations from Gamma Beta Phi.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm going to give you some time to get back to your seat. So our next speaker is the provost, your acting provost. Is that your title? He's very acting, Dr. Jeff Goldberg. Jeff has been a friend of mine for a long time. He was the dean of the College of Engineering, and he has stepped up into the provost position. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Jeff.
Let's have some fun, right?
Okay.
A lot of speakers here today. Let's everybody stand up and yell and scream a little bit. I want to get a picture to put out to my 750 Twitter followers. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. My ratio's really good. I only follow about 150 people, so ratio 5 to 1 is pretty good. I need to get down here a little bit more. I think the last time I came to this high school, it was on Fry Boulevard. Is that true? Yeah, okay, I'm not crazy. I was driving around. It's a fun job, and this has got to be a fun day, right? What could possibly be better than this? So I've had 4 children. Beer could be better, okay. Give that kid a good score, and okay, yeah. I have 4 children, so I really identify with the parents. I've been out in that audience, and I'm going to tell you, it's a blast. One of the happiest days of my life was when my youngest left for college, and my wife immediately went home and she changed the keypad on the garage. That was a very clear signal to the team what was going on. So I want to congratulate the students. It's not easy to get through a university degree. It's hard work. And what gets me is the perseverance of the students. And you heard the story from our speaker here, the moving story. Many of you probably had a half dozen to a dozen times where it was, I quit this. This is terrible. I can't stand this. There's a million other things I would rather do. What the heck am I doing? This is stupid. But you didn't. Actually, some did. They're not here. Right? They're not here. You are. That's the strength that you will take with you from this room when we leave. All education is important, but especially university education, and my partners here talked about statistics. You don't do these kind of things without team. And the team is really the friends and family in the audience, your friends who helped you get through school, and there's a group over here, our faculty, that are a huge part of the entire experience. So let's get our faculty up, and let's give a round of applause to our faculty as well. Come on. So, way to go. So we've had a couple people talk about information technology and cybersecurity. You should realize this is a home run program. In fact, this is a home run institution, is an important part of the University of Arizona. Today there was a very big announcement, and congrats to Sarah Whelan, Linda Deno, and Jason Deno. I need binoculars to see you in the back. They were named an NSA Center of Academic Excellence in Cyber Operations. That's today. That's a 10-play, that's a 10-school, 10-location kind of place in the United States. Leads to all sorts of exciting things moving forward. I'm sure it'll help us recruit more students, critical for the nation's defense, critical for the economics of Sierra Vista and Southern Arizona as well. Can't say more how important that program is and how happy we are, how successful it is. So congratulations. I got Linda right here in the front row. And while I'm talking about team, I got a couple of my team from the university here. Where's Claudia Arias? All right. Claudia's on my team at the university. She did development with us. Congratulations to her son, Emilio. All right. I'll bet you didn't know how good your mother. Pretty nice, huh? Okay. And I got Eddie Garcia out here, too. Where'd Eddie go? Right there. Eddie works with us. Eddie's an architect. He works for Smith Group, JJR. I'm doing a big plug for them right now. Free commercial, Eddie, no problem. They do really outstanding buildings, and in particular, really outstanding educational buildings. And I'm guessing, is it Carla? All right, thank goodness there's only one Garcia in the crowd. Thank you. Carla, congratulations, way to go to you too. With great talent comes great responsibility. You got to get engaged. I don't care really how, just get engaged. We need educated people in our political environment, churches and synagogues, community centers. I'm not sure I want you to be in the homeowners association. I'm not a huge fan of some of those. But you got to be engaged with our teams here. We need you to take on leadership, and we need you to play to your strengths. If you're good at analytics, you have to be in the discussion. It's not enough now to just watch hand wavers. Okay? It's impossible to do that. You got to keep on reading. You have to keep on learning. I'm not the first person to talk about that today, but I will be the first person to talk about you have to be able to listen and to hear, because I know this is hard to believe, but there could be other viewpoints, and they might even be right. And that's not obvious in today's environment. You got to be willing to think and change and think about everything that you're hearing about. I always, my mother passed away many years ago, but I always think, how would my mother think about this? If she saw me in the front page of the newspaper with this story, how would she think about it? And if she didn't think very well, that's a pretty clear signal for me to be careful. Don't be so fast to judgment, and don't take everything at face value. Sometimes people aren't 100% honest. And the most important lesson, and I think our student speaker talked about as well, it is so much easier to be successful when people like you. It sounds so obvious, but it is so hard sometimes to implement. So, congratulations to the graduates. I want to wish you well. Don't be a stranger here, and don't be a stranger to the University of Arizona in general. Lifelong friends here, congratulations. Bear down.
Two things before I introduce our new speaker. I always knew what to do after meetings with him, right? He's pretty direct, and that's what I loved about him. Another thing, I am so excited about the cyber. We now have a center of excellence. I've been wanting to say that since I got on stage, so thank you for letting that out of the bag, and thank you for all of our faculty who have worked really hard on that, and of course for our student services, Sarah Whelan, too. So our next guest speaker is Melissa Vito. And I think we all know Melissa. She is Melissa, your title's so long, yeah. Everyone loves Melissa. Let's just have a big warm welcome for Melissa Vito.
But it's an important title. Just kidding. Thank you. Thank you, Melody, and what an awesome day. I have to say, I go to a lot of different commencement events. I was already at one today celebrating the success of our student athletes, which was amazing. And I have another thing tonight and tomorrow, a couple of them. But this is the one that always feels personal to me. And so, a couple questions. I saw all the veterans stand up. How many of you have been working pretty much full-time while you've been going to school? So pretty much all of you, okay? How many of you, I love the fact that the biggest crowd here are mothers and fathers and kids and grandparents. So how many of you are parents or are married? See, pretty much all of you. And so here's the thing, and I learned this. I finished my doctorate 11 years ago, and I was a single mom. I had twin boys in high school, kind of tough. Takes a lot of energy, emotional and physical, and I was working full-time in an interim job and wasn't really sure what would happen. So I wouldn't presume to know what each of you have gone through, but what I do know is that it's not easy. It takes focus. You have to go without sleep a lot of time, and it's when I got my Red Bull habit, but it served me well. And you have to be able to manage multiple types of priorities all at the same time. So what does that mean? It means that you're already super successful. So finishing this degree is awesome because it's an indicator of your perseverance, what you've learned, and your ability to actually follow through to the end in a time where you have a lot of things that might make it harder for you to do it. But you're a success, and you will continue to be successful. It's who you are. So when I think back about, you've gotten a lot of good advice from, Jimmy Buffett to a lot of data. They're going to do a quiz afterwards. 30% is the answer. when I think about what I want for myself and what I wanted for those twin boys who graduated from college a few years ago, I think about the fact that I actually want to be happy. And I wanted my kids to be happy. And it's interesting, there's sort of a new body of research about what's the happiest city to live in, what's the happiest country in the world. What does it take to be happy? If you're already successful and balancing priorities, then what's going to give you that edge? And I realized, and so I talked to my boys before they were leaving, you try to throw every bit of wisdom you've got in the last month before they go move away. And then one of them moves back, and you realize you had more time. But that's just my story. So I thought that actually there were a couple things, to me, that were the key to happiness. Regent Schutman talked about attitude. Your mother was right. That's definitely an uber one. But I think there are two qualities that if you can approach life this way, you got it. And I think that actually what it requires is that you have gratitude in your heart. And really, so that means you thank the people around you who get you here, because nobody does this alone. You recognize people on your team who do things, and you call them out and you thank them. And you recognize the little things like a hummingbird in a flower or whatever it is that gets you excited. But you do, in your heart, feel gratitude for what you have. I think if you've got that, you're really on the road. And I think the other piece of it is letting go of stuff. So sort of that forgiveness piece. I mean, when I was kind of talking to my kids about this, they were just rolling their eyes, but they did admit that I was right. But I think we all have speed bumps in our lives. We all have things that weren't exactly perfect. And we all have to kind of move on. And the quicker that people are able to do that and let it go, combined with gratitude, you will definitely be happy no matter where you live or what you're doing. And so that's kind of my recipe that I wanted to mention to you. And then as I think about what your degree will mean, whether it means staying in your job or getting promoted or maybe starting a job search and looking for something different, what are sort of the elements of being successful in the workforce? And I really think that there are just a couple of things that differentiate you. One, I think there's a really fine balance, and it was mentioned here before in a different word. Somebody talked about humility. But I think it is the balance between confidence and humility, that you approach life, what you're doing, and how you work with others. So how you maintain a balance of confidence in what you know and a humility knowing that there's a lot that you don't know. And then I think the final thing that I would say is that you're celebrating the completion of an educational program, which is awesome because you're now educated. The other piece of that is that I would encourage all of us, you, myself included, to continue to seek wisdom. There's a difference between being educated and being wise. Educated means you got it, and there's no small benefit to having persevered and accomplished what you have. Wisdom is being able to read the environment, being able to look at a room of people and understand that they all have lives too, and how can I engage them in what I want to do. Wisdom requires a high degree of empathy and a continual scanning of the environment and a way that you integrate what you know and what you do. So as I think about your going forward and what it is that I wish for all of you, that I try to tell my own kids and I try to practice myself, that's it. And I want to just, from the bottom of my heart, congratulate you on what you've done, thank the parents and family members who are here, and wish you loads of success. Thank you.
Thank you. Senior Vice President Vito, there it is. Yeah. That's me. So I would like to invite Dr. Cetera to acknowledge our outstanding students for 2018. Dr. Cetera has served as the Associate Dean of Academic Affairs for the last 4 years. In addition to serving as Associate Dean, she is also the Program Director for the History degree. I really want to thank her from my heart for her hard work and her dedication to U of A South. Would you please welcome Dr. Cetera?
So each year, we recognize the achievements of outstanding senior and our outstanding graduate students. and I'm calling the following students to join us on the stage. Cynthia Burr and Jose Ricardo Hinojos Ramirez. The students are nominated by our faculty and selected by the subcommittee of the Faculty Forum based on fulfilling one or more of the following criteria: a minimum of a 3.5 grade point average. The student has demonstrated significant responsibility in one or more of the following areas: provided support and leadership of a class, served as the preceptor in a lecture, discussion, or lab course, took leadership role in a research project, involvement in community service or related work, outstanding performance in a practicum or internship. That's a lot. And I know a lot of you did this, and those our outstanding students are representing all of you here. The selecting committee members were Professors Para, Erickson, Whitman, and Wolf. So first, I want to honor our outstanding undergraduate student, Cynthia Burr. Cynthia is a human services major with a minor in cultural awareness and communications in business and society. She is a dedicated, highly motivated student and received the David Patterson Memorial Scholarship of the University South Foundation. She balances a full academic load with full-time employment as a habilitation specialist for severely disabled individuals, and her dedication for her family, caring for her 3 boys and her disabled mother. Her capstone research project focused on the cognitive and behavioral implications associated with extreme preterm birth. Here, Cynthia incorporated her research skills with her experiences and knowledge as a parent and professional in the field. Cynthia's passion for the topic shone through. Her final project was an objective, well-researched analytical literature review and synthesis of relevant information from a variety of sources, and a formulation of her own recommendations. The Burr family's role as the 2018 March of Dimes Ambassador family speaks volumes in terms of Cynthia's commitment to the community. As a student worker under the supervision of Dr. Sheena Brown, Cynthia has attended workshops, seminars, career fairs, and collaborated with Maricopa Community College personnel and students to promote pathways for students to transition into the BAS Human Services program. She's an active networker within her community, a champion for the University of Arizona and UA South, and never missing an opportunity to promote our programs and gathering and assessing information on the employment needs of the community. It is not often that a student demonstrates such high skill and dedication across the spectrum of academia, leadership, and citizenship. In recognition of these skills and qualities, Cynthia will receive the 2018 Provost Award tomorrow at graduation at main campus. Congratulations, Cynthia. This award is very well deserved. Our graduate student honoree is Jose Ricardo Hinojos Ramirez, who is receiving his Master's of Education in Secondary Education. Jose is a student in our alternative certification program, and he has been a science teacher at Douglas High School during his 2 years in our program. He has distinguished himself as both a teacher and a graduate student. I'd like to quote Jose's teaching philosophy. A teacher needs to be someone who asks the students what they believe. Teachers need to take input from the students and need to view themselves not only as teachers, but as students. These beliefs has led Jose to structure a warm and welcoming classroom for his students. He engages his students with a project-based learning approach to science instruction. His classroom is a model display of challenging and sophisticated science projects, and some of them will end up in the College of Engineering, Dr. Goldberg. Jose's commitment to his graduate studies is reflected in his 4.0 GPA, his willingness to share himself with his students and colleagues, and his commitment to social justice make him a most deserving student for this award. Thank you so much, and congratulations, Jose. So thank you, and congratulations to all of you, all of our this year's graduates.
Okay, it's time. You ready? Professor Kowalovic and Professors Johnson, please take your positions.
Jose Hinojos Ramirez, Master of Education, Secondary Education.
Lauren Russian, Masters of Education in Secondary Education, transferred from UC Santa Barbara.
Leah Stanton, Master of Education, Secondary Education, transferred to University of Phoenix.
Elizabeth Dorin, Masters of Education in Secondary Education.
Jacob Master, Masters of Education, Secondary Education.
Tara Baxter, Masters of Education in Secondary Education.
John Taylor Bentley, Masters of Education, Secondary Education, transferred from U of A main campus and Southern Utah University.
Brittany Reinerson, Masters of Education in Secondary Education, transferred from the University of Arizona.
Jennifer Munoz, Master of Education in Secondary Education, transferred from University of Arizona.
David Rodriguez, Master of Education in Secondary Education, transferred from the University of Arizona.
Emilio Arias, Masters of Education in Secondary Education, transferred from the University of Arizona.
Mark Zepeda, Masters of Education in Secondary Education, transferred from Cochise College and Illinois State University.
Mia Victoria Torres, Master of Education, Secondary Education, transferred from Cochise College and Western New Mexico University.
Alejandra Stevens Bustillos, Masters of Education, Secondary Education, transferred from the University of Phoenix and Western New Mexico University.
Judith Murr Herrera, Master of Education, Secondary Education, transferred from Austin Peay State University, Christopher Newport University, and El Paso Community College.
Brittany Gonzalez, Masters of Education in Secondary Education.
Mahala Lewis, Master of Education, Secondary Education.
Megan Hahn, Master of Education in Secondary Education, transferred from the University of Northern Iowa.
Michael Mowry, Master of Science, Educational Technology.
Elsie Estrada, Bachelor of Applied Science in Administration of Justice, transferred from Cochise College.
Abraham Sanchez, Bachelor of Applied Science, Administration of Justice, transferred from Cochise College.
Too busy hugging. Denise Olson, Bachelor of Applied Science in Cyber Operations, transferred from Cochise College.
Bobby Richardson, Bachelor of Applied Science, Cyber Operations, transferred from Cochise College.
Christopher Savarese, Bachelor of Applied Science in Cyber Operations.
Megan Easley, Bachelor of Applied Science, Cyber Operations, transferred from Cochise College.
Joanna Schaefer, Bachelor of Applied Science in Early Childhood Education, transferred from Pima Community College.
Cristina Delgado, Bachelor of Applied Science, Early Childhood Education, transferred from Cochise College and Pima Community College.
Farina Locklear, Bachelor of Applied Science in Human Services, transferred from Cochise College.
Michelle Bailey, Bachelor of Applied Science, Human Services, transferred from Pima Community College.
Cynthia Burr, Bachelor of Applied Science in Human Services, transferred from Rio Salado.
Mayra Ballesteros, Bachelor of Applied Science, Human Services, transferred from Cochise College.
Nereida Carlos, Bachelor of Applied Science, Human Services, transferred from Pima Community College and Roseman University College of Pharmacy.
Ariana Jackson, Bachelor of Applied Science Informatics, transferred from Cochise College.
Zachary Haddad, Bachelor of Applied Science in Informatics, transferred from Pima Community College.
Brett Bendixson, Bachelor of Applied Science, Informatics.
Stephen Carpenter, Bachelor of Applied Science in Intelligence Studies, transferred from Cochise College.
Alexandria Flores, Bachelor of Applied Science, Intelligence Studies, transferred from University of Phoenix, San Diego City College, and Sacramento City College.
Jeffrey Bazidlo, Bachelor of Science in Intelligence Studies, transferred from Cochise College.
Randall Height, Bachelor of Applied Science, Network Administration, transferred from Cochise College.
Michael Ziguras, Bachelor of Applied Science and Network Administration, transferred from Central Arizona College.
Anthony Freshour, Bachelor of Applied Science, Network Administration, transferred from Cochise College.
Jean Little, Bachelor of Applied Science and Network Administration, transferred from Pima Community College.
Matthew Gardner, Bachelor of Applied Science, Network Administration, transferred from Pima Community College.
James Chadbourne, Bachelor of Applied Science and Network Administration, transferred from Cochise College.
Kevin Hoey, Bachelor of Applied Science, Network Administration, transferred from Cochise College.
Anthony Lopez, Bachelor of Applied Science and Organizational Leadership, transferred from Pima Community College.
Alfonso Lucero, Bachelor of Applied Science, Organizational Leadership, transferred from Pima Community College.
Jessica Gray, Bachelor of Applied Science and Organizational Leadership, transferred from Pima Community College.
Tracy Bryant, Bachelor of Applied Science, Organizational Leadership, transferred from Pima Community College.
Jenny Savage, Bachelor of Applied Science and Organizational Leadership, transferred from the University of Arizona.
Aaron Glockner, Bachelor of Applied Science, Organizational Leadership, transferred from Coconino Community College.
Carla Garcia, Bachelor of Applied Science, Organizational Leadership, transferred from Northern Virginia Community College.
Franklin Farmer, Bachelor of Applied Science, Organizational Leadership, transferred from Cochise College.
David Rodriguez, Bachelor of Applied Science and Organizational Leadership, transferred from Pima Community College.
Joanna Ovalle Celaya, Bachelor of Applied Science, Organizational Leadership, transferred from Cochise College.
Aislinn Gonzalez, Bachelor of Arts in English, transferred from Cochise College.
Erica Wilson, Bachelor of Arts, English, transferred from Cochise College.
Javier Inejos, Bachelor of Arts, English, transferred from Cochise College.
Maria Hoyos Grijalva, Bachelor of Arts, English, transferred from Cochise College.
Mary Bermerman, Bachelor of Arts, English, transferred from Pima Community College and Rio Salado College.
Ruben Bustamante, Bachelor of Arts, Government and Public Service, transferred from Cochise College and Pima Community College.
Donald True, Bachelor of Arts in History, transferred from Augusta University.
Molly Hattel, Bachelor of Arts, History, transferred from Cochise College.
Alison Ocañas, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology, transferred from Cochise College.
Daneas Amaripa, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology, transferred from Cochise College.
Sharon Christie, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology, transferred from Cochise College.
Amy Rojas, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology, transferred from Cochise College.
Christopher Richards, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology, transferred from Cochise College and Indiana University.
Juan Pablo Villalobos, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology, transferred from Cochise College.
Michael Estrada, Bachelor of Science in Commerce, transferred from Pima Community College.
Garrett Simon, Bachelor of Science in Commerce, transferred from Pima Community College.
Daniel Brown, Bachelor of Science in Commerce, transferred from Cochise College.
Andrea Hernandez, Bachelor of Science, Commerce, transferred from Cochise College.
David Davidson, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, transferred from Cochise College.
Nathan Posey, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science, transferred from Cochise College.
Tiffany J. Claycomb, Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education, transferred from Cochise College.
Kayla Gooch, Bachelor of Science, Elementary Education, transferred from Cochise College.
Jeff Dively, Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education, transferred from Cochise College.
Daisy Mejia, Bachelor of Science, Elementary Education, transferred from Cochise College.
Karen Chacon, Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education, transferred from Pima Community College.
Gabriela Zamudio, Bachelor of Science, Elementary Education, transferred from Cochise College.
Maribel Norzagare, Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education, transferred from Cochise College.
Juliette Montague, Bachelor of Science, Elementary Education, transferred from Pima Community College.
Daryl Lord, Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education, transferred from Pima Community College.
Maria Salcido, Bachelor of Science, Elementary Education, transferred from Cochise College.
I almost said Martita. Marta Salcido, Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education, transferred from Cochise College.
Andres Garcia, Bachelor of Science, Family Studies and Human Development, transferred from Pima Community College.
Alexander Akridge, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Bachelor of Science in Mathematics, and an undergraduate certificate in cybersecurity, transferred from Cochise College.
Victoria Evening Red, Bachelor of Science, Mathematics, transferred from Cochise College.
Okay, now that you all have your pieces of paper and have had your handshake, can I have the master's candidates please rise? Provost Goldberg, it is my honor to present to you those candidates who have satisfied the requirements for the degree of Masters of Education and Masters of Science.
By the authority vested in me by the Arizona Board of Regents, I confer upon each of you the appropriate master's degree as recommended by the faculty of the University of Arizona. In accordance with usual custom, you, as individuals, are entitled to all the rights and privileges which pertain to your degree here and elsewhere.
Fantastic. You may sit down now. Would the undergraduate candidates please rise? Provost Goldberg, it is my honor to present to you those candidates who have satisfied the requirement for the degree of Bachelors of Applied Science, Bachelors of Arts, and Bachelors of Science.
Great. By the authority vested in me by the Arizona Board of Regents, I confer upon each of you the appropriate bachelor's degree as recommended by the faculty of the University of Arizona. In accordance with usual custom, you as individuals are entitled to all the rights and privileges which pertain to your degree here and elsewhere. Congratulations.
Stay standing. And masters, would you please stand? We are going to be doing what's called flipping the tassel. So I'm going to give you a little bit of history about it, but get ready to flip that tassel. The origins of awarding degrees and graduation ceremonies began in medieval Europe. The first academic degrees were conferred in approximately 1160 AD at the University of Bologna in Italy, with the practice spreading quickly to other European universities, most notably the University of Paris in France, Oxford University, and Cambridge University in England. The procedures for awarding degrees at this university are based on that practice developed at the University of Paris in the late 12th or 13th century. As the final rite of passage called commencement, and as the visible symbol of the completion of your apprenticeship at the University of Arizona South, please move your tassel from the right to the left side of your mortarboard. All right. You may be seated now. Our final commencement tradition is the alumni address, and it will be presented by Dr. Renee Corrales.
Good afternoon. I would first like to thank Dean Melody Bruckner for the privilege and honor of inviting me to give this closing alumni acknowledgement here today. More importantly, let me congratulate all the new graduates. You are all officially University of Arizona South alumni now. Woohoo! I know you have some very proud family and friends out there that can't wait to take more pictures of you, hug you, and shower you with gifts. So let me try to get through this quickly. Graduates, parents, and friends, please take a moment to recognize that every year, the University of Arizona South produces extraordinary scholars and creative thinkers. Look around. Each of you has the privilege of being among them. Graduates, let me tell you about a few things you will face as alumni. I know this because I am an alumnus of the University of Arizona South. I was out there sitting as you are just 2 years ago. First, let me point out some unexpected privileges some of you may discover. If you have received awards tonight, start working on your speeches. You might be up here in the near future. Actually, that goes for any of you. Accept it when you get it, the phone call. Second, with your new degree in hand, many of you are entering your first or second career. You will face many challenges just as you did in reaching your most recent educational goals. Clearly, you overcame all those challenges as you are now here ready to move on. Continue to overcome the challenges that you meet. By now, most of you are trying to figure out how to overcome the one roadblock between you, all those hugs, as well as that great smelling food across the hallway. That roadblock remains me. Admit it. You're thinking, when is this guy going to get done? Or, enough already, get done already. Go ahead, admit it. It's okay. Raise your hand if you were thinking something like this along those lines. Yeah, good. Thank you for your honesty. You sing like canaries when prodded just enough. Thinking such thoughts is considered as formulating mental models, specifically of what is happening in a particular instance of your life. Just as you formulated a mental model just now, your bosses or principals and your coworkers or students, along with yourselves, will be formulating mental models of you, your actions, and of those around you. These are mental models that we as humans form that can cause roadblocks for ourselves and for others because they are embedded in a mindset. Negative thoughts to negative mindsets. Thus, your challenge is to turn those mental models into positive thoughts to induce positive mindsets. Not only will you be more productive, so will those around you. Teachers, that includes your students. So how do you change mindsets? Well, for example, to get me off the stage quicker, create a positive mindset by laughing at my jokes and appearing interested in what I am saying. Nice laugh, thank you. Many years ago, when I started my doctoral program, that was over 36 years ago, my mother told me that I was likely to be in school the rest of my life. I wish she was here to see the truth in that statement. My commitment to learn has taken me back to school over and over again, including teaching in schools at different levels. My commitment to learning includes sharing that knowledge. I encourage you all to become lifetime learners and use that learning to teach everyone around you. In my new career as an educator, I have discovered that just as in science, education evolves as we learn more about teaching theories and philosophies. Such evolutions lead to revolutions of traditional ideologies. I implore you to apply modern education theories, strategies, and methods to create novel education philosophies that work best for your students. Along the way, uncover the skills and talents of your students, and do not forget to uncover your own. Be the foundation of an educational revolution by being the leaders of educational modernization. To close, I would like to paraphrase the great Dr. Martin Luther King. As you commence in your careers, the question is, do you have a proper, sound, and solid life's lesson plan? I would like to suggest some of the things that need to be in your life's lesson plan. The top priority in your life's lesson plan needs to be a deep belief in your own dignity and your self-worth. Don't let anyone compromise your worth as an educator. Always believe you make a difference. In your life's lesson plan, you must also have, as a basic principle, the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of teaching. Keep in mind that you will ultimately be making decisions that mold young minds. Once you establish your teaching philosophy, set out to do it and do it well. Become the master teacher that shines. Next, make sure your life's lesson plan is a commitment to the internal principles of social justice, learning equity, logic, and love. Finally, always keep reflecting no matter what. Reflect to confirm your successes, reflect to discover new insights, and reflect to maintain your high standards strong moral fiber, and commanding ethics that define your lifelong learning philosophy. Let me wish you all interesting and fruitful careers. Now, alumni, go out there and do us proud. Thank you.
Woo! Gotta get to my script here. Okay, are we ready to sing? Because that's what we're doing. So, Melissa, Jeff, oh yes, you must come up here.
Oh, I know the song. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna lip sync also.
We're gonna stand away, but everybody needs to stand up.
This is not it.
Well, I would like you to join us in singing our alma mater, All Hail Arizona. Don't worry if you've forgotten the words, they're on your program. We're going to stand back from the mic so you can't hear us, but we are all going to be singing. Melissa, I want you to stand with me. Come and stand with me.
What are we doing?
So, doing my closing remarks. And
Okay.
So this is the end of the ceremony, but
Right.
before we go, I
to
just want to
stay
give a
longer.
special thanks to Melissa Vito. She just announced yesterday that she's going to be leaving the university. And I'm really sad about this, but I also know she has some really awesome opportunities on her horizon. And I just wanted us as students, because Melissa has been dedicated to students, I don't know, since you were a student, you have been dedicated to students. She has fought for students. She has just always been there for students. So I think we just need to give her a big round of applause as we send her out into the big wild world.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we won't drag it out anymore.
I will not drag it out any longer. Thank you for joining us today. This has been a wonderful, memorable occasion. Remember how I told you to close your eyes and remember this moment? You will be able to go back this to any time in your life. When you're down, close your eyes, remember back to this day when you graduated and became an alumni of the University of Arizona. I do it all the time. So just remember that. Take this snapshot, be in the moment right now. And let's go and celebrate by having something to eat, mingling with your peers, with your colleagues, with your families, and let's enjoy each other. Everybody, thank you so much for coming, and I will look forward to seeing you in the cafeteria.